Hello Capricorn, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Capricorn. We're going to jump on in. We're going to start with looking at overall energy through oracle cards first, and then we'll dive deeper into the story with tarot as we progress. So let's start here, Capricorn, with looking at the overall energy for your recent past. Overall energy for Capricorn's recent past. You have assurance. Perfect setting. I feel like I saw one more flip over, maybe not. Oh, okay. And then illumination. So you've been searching for a sign, maybe not directly, but like confirmation that you're on the right path or you're doing the right thing or that some sort of choice or option is the right thing for you. And I feel like you've received that confirmation a lot. Maybe not directly, like the universe very rarely ever comes down and is like, yes, this is the path. But, you know, I just feel like there are a lot of signs pointing in a certain direction for you. But it feels like there's still a lot of anxiety or second guessing about something, about a path or like a choice or a decision in some way. And it feels like that's one of the biggest things holding you back from what's really meant for you and how good things can get because there is so much second guessing. Now, it's normal to second guess. It's normal to doubt. It's normal to have anxiety. It's normal to feel nervous about, you know, making a step, making a change, whatever the case is, taking a step, making a change. But the worst thing that we can do for ourselves is allow that doubt to hold us back from doing something that like we know in our heart and in our soul is right for us. So I feel like this is the universe kind of, again, like confirming in some way that like there's some sort of decision, some sort of choice, some sort of path that you've been asking or wondering, like, is this right for me? Is this the right direction? Is this the choice that I should make? And I feel like the universe is like, yes, like it's an astounding yes for you. In some way, shape, or form. But that's what you have been dealing with. So what does Capricorn need to know right now in their current energy? What is Capricorn dealing with? Because I feel like whatever this is in reference to, it's like this is very much in alignment with like your highest good, with what is meant for you in some way. I don't know what this is talking about. I remember if we're vague, it's because we're looking at overall all energy. So we'll dive deeper into the story with tarot in a little bit, but let's see. Ideal course of action. It's like catch your breath and then intuition. It's like there's this path that's waiting on you. It's almost like you feel like you're waiting on the universe in some way, but the universe is really waiting on you to like make a decision or to take a step or to, I don't know, choose. Because your intuition is heavily guiding you in some way towards something, away from something, to start something, to end something, whatever, you know, kind of resonates with you. And this catch your breath card is kind of this reminder that like you're going to make the choice, you're going to take the step, you're going to make the decision like whenever you're ready, whenever is right for you. But it's also important to know that you're never going to feel 100% certain. You're never going to get to this place where you're like, I don't have any fear, I don't have any doubt, I'm 100% certain that everything's going to work out. Like that place just does not happen. You build confidence as you take the steps. You build faith as you face the fear. And so much of, I feel like what you're dealing with right now is like this back and forth between like your intuition and your fear. It's like, yes, I know that something's right for me, or I know that this is the choice I need to make, or I know that this is the right path for me, or whatever the case is. But then your fear is like, but what if you fail? But what if you end up alone? But what if it doesn't work out? But what if, what if enter worst case scenario, essentially. And I feel like this is about taking the step and going for it, like making the choice to do it, even if you don't feel 100% ready, even if you still feel a little bit of fear, and trust that like you're going to be supported and guided with every single step that you take, because I feel like that is really what this is talking about. So it's natural and it's normal to feel scared or to second guess or to wonder. Faith wouldn't be faith if you don't question it. Faith wouldn't be faith if you don't second guess, certain things. So this isn't necessarily, and I think that that's what a lot of people get wrong, is faith is not a feeling. Being, you never get to a point where you're 100% certain that everything's going to work out and that the universe has your back. Like, that just doesn't happen. And a lot of times things don't work out the way that we planned or the way that we thought, but it always works out in some way for our highest good. Faith is an action. Showing up for the life that we desire, for the life that we deserve, is an action. It's a choice. It's a decision. And it especially requires us to do it even when we're faced with a mountain of fear and uncertainty. And I feel like that is what you're being asked to do right now. And I do feel like I'm speaking to a collective that's going to show up exactly as you need to. So have a little bit of confidence for just whatever direction that you're heading right now. What does Capricorn need to know moving forward? Whoa. Clear out the old. It's moving away from what has been and moving toward what will be. You have clear out the old, trust your own understanding, and make a decision. And then underneath that, you have culmination of vision. Whoa, okay. Culmination of vision. So whatever like you're desiring, whatever you're wanting, whatever, kind of outcome, whatever that looks like, the success, the love, all of it is very much available to you. It's very much possible for you. But I also feel at the same time that there is this need to let go to like patterns and habits and places that are really familiar and really predictable, and start embracing kind of new energy. Now, that's really hard to do no matter who you are or what you're dealing with, because your ego absolutely hates new. It prefers old. It prefers predictable. It prefers what it can control. It prefers knowing exactly how things are going to feel, exactly what they're going to look like. So when we're taking steps in the direction toward what's really meant for us, it does require us to let go of the way that things have been to make room for what things can be. So in some way, shape, or form, and maybe that's why this has been so challenging, you are being pushed so far out of your comfort zone, not just to try something new or start something new or head in a new direction, but also to let go of the old and let go of things that are no longer serving you. So many things in our life play a role for a time, and it plays a role to move us to the next phase, to the next best thing in our life. And sometimes we cling to what has worked but isn't working anymore because we fear it's never going to get as good as that. Or like we're like, well, I'd rather have this than nothing at all. Like, I'd rather stay at this job that isn't serving me than fail at starting my own business, or like whatever the case might be. But on the other side of whatever you're fearing is where what it is that you really desire lies. So this feels like this is just another way that the universe is saying, yes, 100%, this is the right path. Do it. Stop second guessing. Start to take action. But obviously, it's not always that easy. So I don't know what this is in regard to. I feel like it's definitely something exciting for you, Capricorn. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy. It doesn't mean that it's something that it doesn't mean that making the decision is exciting, to let go of the old or to start something new. Like, the idea of where it could take you can be exciting for sure. But the process itself can be challenging, but that's all good things are worth the challenge, right? So let's see what Capricorn's got as their overall energy here. Overall energy for Capricorn in regard to this reading. A new start is coming. Your hard work is paying off. I mean, and then underneath that is time to release negativity. And then it just opened up to you're very close to achieving your goal. So you're definitely heading towards a new beginning, and one that it feels like it's one that you I don't want to say you've been owed necessarily, but I do feel like this is like a result of taking a risk or putting yourself out there or taking steps out of your comfort zone or having faith or whatever the case is. It does kind of feel a little bit like a reward. So how freaking exciting, Capricorn. I told you, it feels exciting. It doesn't necessarily mean it feels good right now, but like where you're headed feels really exciting. Like you have a lot to be excited about. All right, let's dive into this deeper. Capricorn, what has Capricorn been dealing with in their recent past? The Hermit. And the first thing that I was drawn to is this Hermit's light. It's like there's something that you know in your soul, some sort of dream, some sort of desire. It's like you know in your soul that it's right for you, that it's meant for you, that it's where you're being led. And that's because it's like your soul is whispering to you in some way. Spirit is whispering to you. But then you have this Nine of Wands, which is kind of this energy of holding yourself back in some way. Now, it's not to say that you're not being logical in your approach, because there's probably a lot of ways where you're like, well, I don't know if I have the money, I don't know if I have the time, and I don't know if I have the skill, and I can't go back to school right now, I've got all these things going on. Like, it's not that it's not logical, like the way that you're thinking, but I feel like what this is really talking about is that there is a path that's already paved for you. You just have to walk it, which basically means that there are answers, there are solutions. Like the things that you desire are already happening for you. You just have to choose it. You just have to choose the path. Yeah, literally, Ace of Wands. I didn't even see that. This is all about action. So it feels like you've been holding yourself back from taking some sort of action for a while. There it is. The Knight of Wands in reverse with the Ten of Cups in reverse, and then you have this Hierophant. So the way that I really view this energy is like, because the Knight of Wands in reverse can be a form of self-sabotage, and we don't always self-sabotage in all the direct ways. You know, like self-sabotage can often be like struggling with addiction or just, you know, straight up doing things that are, you know, bad for you. Self-sabotage, though, can also look like not taking a risk towards your dreams, not choosing to believe that you're deserving of better, like staying in places that you've outgrown because you fear, you know, you'll never find anything better, whatever the case might be. And I feel like that's what this whole reading is about, is it's like you probably, all of the reasons that you have to stay in the same place or to stay at that job that you hate or to, you know, not put yourself out there when it comes to relationships, like you're probably 100% justified in that, but that doesn't mean that there's not solutions. That doesn't mean that there's not a path available for you. And I feel like that's what Spirit's asking you to do when it comes to this Hierophant, is to shift your perspective a little bit from what is like what you're looking to control to like where you can have faith, where you can trust that the universe is going to provide, is going to support, is going to guide. Because I feel like, again, I said it, it's like wherever you're headed right now, like this is very much where you're meant to go, what you're meant to do, what you're meant to experience. So, and one of my favorite things that I've kind of seen bouncing around the internet is like, if the universe put a dream in your heart, it has every intention of helping you make that happen. And I feel like that's what this is really about for you. Current energy for Capricorn, you have intuition with ideal course of action. And I just feel like that's so direct. Just feel like Spirit is being so direct about this in this reading. Like, yes, this is the right path. Yes, this is the right thing. Yes, choose this. Yes, do this. Yes, take these steps. Like, this is what's right for you. This is what's meant for you. But then you're sitting there going, I don't know. Is it? Maybe not though. And the universe is like, yes. And you're like, I don't know. It's just kind of funny the way that the messages are coming through. And I'm not saying that you're doing it intentionally. I mean, some things are just scary. They're hard. Going after your dreams or taking steps toward what you desire is really difficult. And second guessing it is very much human nature. So you shouldn't feel bad about that. But the way the messages are just coming through is kind of funny. All right, current energy for Capricorn. Okay. We're a little jaded, aren't we, Capricorn? Okay, 3 of Cups in reverse, Temperance, 10 of Swords. You know, I think that it's hard when you've been seemingly screwed over by the universe in the past, where you thought something was really meant for you, or you thought that something was really going to work out and it didn't. And that can really change how you view like what is possible for you, because you look at these things and you're like, but I was so sure, or I was so certain, or it felt so right at the time, but then it didn't work out, or things fell apart, or whatever the case is. And so then you get it in your head that it's like, well, maybe that means that I'm not meant to experience love, or maybe that means that I'm not meant to find success, or maybe that means that I'm never going to be able to, be successful in a business, or whatever the case is. And the universe is asking you to not look at where you've been and what you have happened to you is what has happened to you as proof of where you can go, but more so as stepping stones to where you're at now. Like, you wouldn't be the person that you are. You wouldn't know what you know. You wouldn't have grown in the ways that you have if you had not have been through the things that you have. So it's not looking back at what hasn't worked out, or the things that have fallen through and saying, oh, this is proof that I can't make it, or this is proof that I'm not enough, or that I can't get there, or that it can't happen for me, because that's not what it is at all. It's literally just the universe providing you with opportunities to learn, grow, and evolve in the ways that you needed to be able to align with what's really meant for you. So, I think that it's hard to believe in possibility when it feels like things just never work out or haven't worked out. But I feel like that's why the core message really seems to be faith, trusting that everything has led you to this, that, all of the ways that you failed and you've picked yourself back up and you've kept going and you've gotten your heart broken and you've healed, like all of the things that you've been through have put you in this position to be able to move toward wherever you want to go now. Like, these things have happened for you. I often present that message, looking at what we've been through from the lens of how has this happened for me, not to me, because what that allows you to do is see opportunity. It allows you to see it as some sort of like I guess like precursor to the things that you desire. And I truly believe that like we're put into a position in this lifetime, like as a kid or like throughout the things that we experience in our trauma and all that, like whatever we experience is like what our assignment is to heal from. And as we heal from these things, as we grow, as we evolve, as we learn, we align more and more with the things that are really meant for us, i.e. our rewards. And so that's what I feel like this is about, is like trusting that there is so much good to come for you on some sort of path, even if it doesn't feel like it's possible for you, or if things haven't worked out the way that you had wanted or expected in the past. It's like, a lot of times we can become really jaded and become really kind of a pessimist almost when we've been through a lot, and nobody can fault you for that. Nobody can blame you for that, nor am I saying that you shouldn't feel that way. But what I am encouraging is a different perspective, looking back and seeing how these things have turned you into the person that you are today, how, much you've grown, healed, and evolved because of the things that you've been through, and how that's made you even more prepared for the good that the universe is trying to bring your way. So what does Capricorn need to know moving forward? Because this is about making a decision to move toward your abundance, to move toward success, not allowing yourself to stay stuck, which is really hard. It's really, really hard and really challenging, but it also at the same time feels exciting. And again, it doesn't mean it feels good right now, but what does Capricorn need to know moving forward? The only thing holding you back is your lack of action. King of Wands in reverse with the Death. King of Wands in reverse is a lack of action, like due to a lack of confidence, or inaction due to lack of confidence. And it feels like, one of the things that, I like that. Sun, Seven of Pentacles, and then you have this Two of Wands. One of the things that I've really learned is that we wait until we have all of the answers, until we can see, or we try and wait until we can see exactly how things are going to unfold and exactly how it's all going to pan out. And we ruminate over what the right path is and what the right steps is, and should I do this and should I do that? And in reality, and this is like the hardest thing that I've had to learn, is that there is no right answer. There's no one right way to do things or to experience this life. There are things that you're meant to experience for sure, but when it comes to outcomes that you desire, like finding the success that you desire, the love that you desire, whatever the case might be, there's no way you can truly mess up what's really meant for you. And sometimes we keep ourselves in a place of inaction because we're waiting for that right, perfect answer where it just all makes sense and it all clicks. But when we wait for that, it kind of puts us in a position of waiting a lifetime, because that never really happens. Again, you never get to this place where you're like, oh, 100%, this is the exact right step and I'm never going to make a mistake. And I feel like that's what this is about. It's about committing to some sort of direction. If you have a dream or a goal in mind, move toward it in whatever way that you can, whatever steps you can take toward it. It doesn't need to even be big steps, but just small steps, and commit to those little steps. Creating the life of your dreams is not as hard as it seems. And I don't say that from this place of like trying to be condescending or saying that it's not difficult or that life isn't challenging. But I do think that our human brain makes it a hell of a lot harder than it actually is. When in reality, creating the life that you desire, the dreams that you desire, the relationships that you desire, literally just requires you to show up believing that you can have it. Taking steps, acting as if it already exists, and you just have to find your way there, because that's what this reading is talking about. There is abundance, there is love, there are all of these wonderful things. I mean, you have the Sun with the Seven of Pentacles here. It's like committing to your happiness, almost like making your happiness something that is no longer not possible. Like, it's no longer not possible for you to not be happy. It's no longer not possible for you not to have the things, or for you to have the things that you deserve and desire. It's like just picking a direction and going for it. Stop waiting to have all the answers. Stop waiting to be 100% certain. Stop waiting until there's no fear, because that moment is never going to come. Start acting, start showing up, and you'll be pretty surprised at how the next step just kind of naturally unfolds. And I feel like that's what this is really about. It might require you letting go of some of the old, which is what is always scary. Moving away from old toward new is always something that your ego hates and will never be something that is easy, but it can be something that is easily navigated when you tap into this belief that you are supported and guided by something bigger than you, because you absolutely are. All right, I'm going to hop on over to the extended, where we're going to look at what you can do right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. So kind of looking at some of the tangible advice. Any information for that, again, is in the description box below. Thank you so much, Capricorn, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Capricorn.